Hello. Hello, I just sent out the advertisement on Twitter that I'm streaming. I'm just going to quickly write in the chat that um, that I acknowledge. I think I have to like make it a I got to make a it's not a Q&A. I think I have to make like a pinned message. Well, no, I'll make it a Q&A. Not a Q&A. I'll do a poll. I'll start a poll. I'll say, are you excited for Shadow of the Birch Tree? I'm not gonna play. I don't play those Souls games. But I'll say no, we only need two. Yes and no. Start poll. Yeah. So for those that, you know, I do want to know. I do legitimately want to know if my viewers are into that new Souls game. I wrote that this is a secret stream for no particular reason. There's nothing about this is secret. I don't even think we're even going to be really talking about like insane speculation of any kind. But you know me, my clickbait game is unreal. I do it on purpose because it's funny. We're just gonna be playing Freedom Unite. That's the plan. But like always, you can literally ask me anything. Am I excited for Shadow of the Birch Tree? No. I don't play those Souls games. Ask me anything, and we have a lot of Monster Wilds news to cover. It's difficult for me to cover it because like there is no like video of footage. There's nothing. We have nothing. We don't even like we haven't behind closed doors. There has been secret gameplay footage of Monster Wilds, and apparently everyone who's seen the gameplay footage, their mind has been blown. Absolutely blown. They're so very excited. Hold on, I also need to post I didn't post the link to my stream in my personal Discord, because I know some people don't get the YouTube notifications, so I gotta advertise anywhere I go. But everyone who's seen the gameplay footage of Monster Wilds has said that it is so much better than the trailers, and that it really is a true evolution of the Monster Hunter formula. But we can't see it. None of us have seen it, so we don't know if what they're saying is true or if they're exaggerating. I believe them. I do believe that I don't need to keep mining. That this new Monster Hunter game, Wilds, will be the best. Like, it's gonna become my new favorite. I don't see it not. Everything I've asked for seems to be coming true. Everything that I asked for in the Monster Hunter 2 retrospective video is coming true. Everything I asked for in the Monster Hunter 4 retrospective video is coming true. And it's so weird that those things could fuse together and form some kind of like super perfect game. But that's what it seems to be. Like, everything that I hear about this game seems to be good. Very good. Again, like, I don't have a list in front of me of all the different changes, because there's a lot of different little minute changes. I was hoping for the gameplay footage to be released, and then I could simply talk about, like, I could just show it off and talk about that. But we haven't received it yet, so I've got no idea. So yeah, there's a lot. And there's a lot of people in chat already. So let me just read some of this chat to make sure I keep up with it. I do not play Souls game, but I understand the hype for those that do. Perfect. So I hope that this is a great little spot for non-Souls fans, because right now everyone keeps talking about the Birch Tree. Love Soul games, not excited about the DLC, though I feel I have to play it out of obligation. What's your personal favorite Monster Hunter game? My personal favorite Monster Hunter game is Monster Hunter 4 as of right now, but that's subject to change when Wilds comes out. Monster Wilds will be the best Monster Hunter game, even above For You. That's what I think. I'm hyped for Monster Wilds. If Ludroth is in Wilds and Kezu isn't, then 10 out of 10. Yeah, that'd be nice. Did you see the Nintendo Direct? I did see the Nintendo Direct, and once again, Capcom loves to port games. The one game that they do not want to port is Monster Hunter, and I mean, I made a video on that. It's easy to speculate that, like, oh, maybe this means that they're gonna release it. But again, if they really wanted that money from us, they would have, like, frankly, if they really did want that money, they would have servers for Monster Hunter 3 and 4 just running already for on Steam. But the fact that they don't, or on like modern consoles, the fact that they don't is very evident that they just don't care. That they don't want us to be playing those games. They want us playing the new games and buying the new DLC. They don't want us buying a collection. It's a very different situation. This is what people, I think, don't quite understand, that there's a massive difference between Monster Hunter and like Ace Attorney. Or even like the fighting games that they release. Especially something like Marvel vs. Capcom, which as of right now is not getting any new games. As opposed to Monster Hunter, which they're literally their biggest game that they've ever made. Probably comparable to the latest Dragon's Dogma. That's coming out next year, and they have so much banking on that. Like, they expect this to be, like, Game of the Year worthy, Monster Hunter Wilds. So, it makes sense why they don't... they're not going to bother porting an old game. They want us hyped for the new one. If they port an old game, especially a game... Sorry, I'm eating some grapes. With over, like, 1,000 hours of gameplay. They just don't care. Will it have Lagiacrus? I don't know if it's going to have Lagiacrus. Probably not. Well, let's be the true peak of the franchise, dethroning Aru Village once and for all. I want a Kezuki Nox Turf War. That'd be fun. Yeah, they announced Metroid Prime 4. That's... Well, they didn't announce. Metroid Prime 4 was already announced. We have to do some online hunts here, so... let's go offline, I guess, for a little bit. I got into G rank, so I have to upgrade. Ignore the... I forgot okay, so I have a texture pack on. Ignore that. I don't know what quests we have to do. I think I have to do Plum Dial Hermitar. So, I think he's weak to thunder. I'll bring a thunder weapon. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool that they announced Metroid Prime. Not announced, I just said that. They revealed Metroid Prime 4. It was odd because I noticed that it did look weird. Like, when I looked at the gameplay footage, it looked really strange. And the reason why it looked strange was definitely because it was not meant to be the final reveal of that direct. It was meant to be the first reveal of that direct, which is why the trailer, I would say, isn't very hype. Like, I would have expected Metroid Prime 4's trailer to be the hypest thing ever, but it wasn't very hype at all. And I'm pretty sure that's just because they didn't... Like, if you watch the Japanese Nintendo Direct, they put... Metroid Prime 4 at the beginning, and they put Mario and Luigi at the end. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that they were not exactly banking. Default traps do not work on crabs in this game. They were banking on they were banking more so on Mario and Luigi for the Japanese audience, which is why they put Mario and Luigi. It had a more cinematic trailer. I would consider like a more typical trailer. I don't like to play Souls games, but weirdly enough, I love to watch Souls-like lore videos. Okay. It's the first time watching you live on stream. Hope you're doing well. God bless. Thank you, Sam Cho. Thanks for joining. Fight for the Monster X Ace Attorney, where you sentence Fatalis for his crimes against humanity. I got jump scared by that. Oh, the texture pack? Yeah, sorry. Is this why you keep the stream secret? Maybe. Okay, so this is my first time hunting Plum Dioma Hermitar in this game since I was a child. Like, we're talking, like, it's been 10 years since I've done this quest. So, he might really trip me up. He might actually kill me. Let's go. To get ready for Wilds, which game should I play in the Monster catalog? World. But if you haven't played World, yeah, play Monster Hunter. Play like a second gen game, like either Freedom Unite or if you can stomach it, get your hands on Monster Hunter 2 and play Monster Hunter 2, because that game will prepare you for the seasons mechanic that's going to be in Wilds. Of course, the seasons mechanic is going to be wildly different. It's going to be wildly different in Wilds. But there is some overlap. Like, you can definitely tell it's a gimmick that they're bringing back and revitalizing. Okay, what is that move? Okay, he just jumps backwards. Okay. See, I've hunted Plum Dioma Hermitar in 4 Ultimate, but fighting him in this game is completely different. What's your speculation on the Studio Timmy mobile Monster Hunter game? Well, I don't really play mobile games at all, and so I don't really have much expertise, and nor have I really given it much thought beyond it might be like a MOBA, but I don't really understand how you would make a MOBA out of Monster Hunter. Like, I feel like it's more likely gonna be its own unique game. Like, it's gonna be some kind of other spin-off game. It might even be like a Monster Hunter like gacha game. It like, which I wouldn't be totally against, but they did that before with Riders. But I still think that they didn't advertise that game very well, and not releasing it to the West I think was a bad idea. Like, a huge reason why gacha games succeed is like the gacha aspect. Like, people like gambling on unlocking characters. That's been a thing for like the longest time. And I don't think that that's ever gonna go away. There's a reason why these gacha games are successful. It's literally because people like it. On the last stream I did, I had Lily Barker on, and she was playing a like Love Live gacha game. She never paid any money for it, but her interest in the series of Love Live, plus like her love of the characters, made her keep playing. It was funny enough that that game got like shut down like 3 months after release. They just had no faith in it succeeding. I thought that was funny. Anyway, maybe Monster Hunter can do that again. I think that Riders failed for a number of reasons. I think that the gameplay probably just wasn't very good. And then, yeah, the fact that not releasing outside of Japan maybe had an effect on it. Not being advertised well. Also, the cooking ingredient system. Yes, actually, I should mention that. Sorry, chat's going fast. The cooking ingredient system is also returning for Monster Hunter 2, and the cooking ingredient system is great. Like, it's a cool system. It was great in Monster Hunter 2. It's going to be vastly improved in Monster Hunter Wilds. It's probably going to be a lot more fun to work with. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm expecting this is a way better turnout than I expected. Frankly, I thought that it was going to be a dud of a stream because of Birch Tree releasing, but I guess not. So I'm glad you're all here. Hey Jacob, congrats on knocking out those Fatalis designs. They're incredible. Thank you. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys right now. So for those that don't follow my my other social medias, you may not be aware. Wait, I have it. What am I doing? I have it on my computer already. I do the Lego stuff, right? And some people know about the Lego stuff. Some people don't know about the Lego stuff. I just released Fatalis. I'm going to show it right here. That image is massive. Hold on. Oh. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So I just released the Fatalis Lego playset, and people are really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. Fatalis looks fantastic. Castle Schrade looks fantastic. We have the roaming ballista that actually works. We have the Dragonators that actually work. We've got the gate that actually works. We got a ballista that actually works. Even the Dragonator switch pops up just like in the game. I've done my best to make this like actually fun to play with. And the reason why is because Fatalis himself, you can't really play with Fatalis. He's just too big, too heavy, and his draconic body just doesn't work well when he's that big. You'll notice that like on official Lego sets, anytime that they do a dragon, they tend to have like there's very particular methodologies that they have for making sure that it's sturdy and it can stand, and I don't follow those all the time in order to, well, I should say that Monster Hunter's design philosophy doesn't follow that philosophy, because Monster Hunter is the Monster Hunter designs were not designed to be made into toys. They were designed to be video game props. They were designed to be marketable for sure, but they were not designed to be toys. They were like that, and I think that's the evidence is the fact that we don't have toys of the monsters. I'm trying to make toys of every single monster that kids could play with, and they could throw around, and they won't break. That's like my goal. Because when I was a kid, that's what I wanted the most. I wanted to be able to play with these monsters in my bedroom beyond just the game. That I could do other things with them. And that's why I do what I'm doing, and that's why I try to stay, like, I try not to swear so much in my streams. I want to make sure that it's a relatively friendly environment for younger folk, especially if there's parents that are watching, because kids cannot afford my Patreon, nor can they afford the Lego. It's the parents that can, and so I want to make sure that my space is a good space for kids. Anyway, Lego Fatalis. He looks great. I'm happy with him. I'm happy that you guys like him too. The most devastating Wilds news is the baby Puke Puke is not Puke Puke. Yeah, it's just some random other... It literally is just a random bird, which I'm actually okay with. I'm okay with there being just a bird that looks like Puke Puke. It's probably in its notes. It's gonna say, this bird, surprisingly, funny enough, looks like Puke Puke. I wonder if there's a connection. And it's just completely unrelated. That'd be fun. That'd be cute. Lego would hire you an instant, dude. You're missing out. I don't know about that. And also, I know what it's like to work for Lego from my limited research. Like, I feel like if I worked for Lego, I'd probably be put on the Ninjago team. Like, that's the truth. I'd either be put on the Ninjago team, or I'd be put on the Lego Creators Expert team. Not Creators Expert, just Creators team. And from what I've heard, most new people are first put on the Creator Lego team, like the Creator 3-in-1 sets. That I'm saying jargon that makes no sense if you don't understand Lego. All I'm saying is that it's a little bit more complicated than, like, oh yeah, they would hire you. It's like, well, I would have to move to Europe. Like, it's kind of a bit more complex. I wish it was nice and simple and I could work from home, but if anything, I think that a better position that I should be looking for is some kind of maybe brand ambassador. Because there is sort of like a brand ambassador program. I would love if Capcom would acknowledge me, but Capcom has not acknowledged me, and they don't really want to. I think that maybe I've done something that they don't like, but like they don't even reach out to me regarding I've seen people with less followers than me get like Monster Hunter Stories, for example, like a free copy of Monster Hunter Stories, So, but I don't think Capcom likes what I'm doing. Or at the very least, they, maybe there's like a moral, like there's not moral, there's like a copyright gray area, like an intellectual property gray area that they just don't touch. I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I wouldn't mind being some kind of brand ambassador, though. I'd like that. Now to build a courtroom to scale a Fatalis so we can sentence it. Ah, what am I doing? G-rank quests and reading chat does not go well together, especially against a giant purple crab. I built your Azure Wraths, I know, Grand Plan building your Legiacris Uragan when that sick build is up page. I cannot wait to release Uragan, you guys. Uragan is one of my favorite builds I've done. Gotta show them what you could do and put your foot down. Monster Hunter or nothing. Love your work, Jacob. I gotta go back to my job before I get wrecked. You have a good day. Your name is Ahead. Do you follow any Lego YouTubers like Kang? I follow a lot of Lego YouTubers. Like I want you guys to know that like you don't get to this point in terms of like Lego jargon and Lego understanding and like yes, I'm I'm a part of that sphere as well. And not like I'm in the fandom, but I'm an observer of that sphere. That Gendrone paralysis is so first, second gen experience. Yeah, it's crazy. I rolled right into the water stream. Infinite Cringe thought the same about Capcom when not acknowledging her on the Dragon's Dogma 2 community. They just didn't know about her. When they finally did, contact was made. I feel like at this point, okay, like I shouldn't get into it. I don't know the actual like I don't know the specifics. The only reason why I think that there might be an issue is just very simply there was a point in time where certain Capcom community managers did have contact with me, and then at some point they stopped having contact with me and they unfollowed. Again, I don't really want to cause an issue. I don't really want to get into it. Like it's not a big deal, but I think that there might be something else going on that like they would rather just keep distance, and I'm okay with that. Like I have an understanding. Like it's fine. Like I totally get it. Maybe it just doesn't look good for them to have me constantly advertising what looks like at first glance that I'm selling a product. I'm not selling a product. I'm providing the option to purchase something that resembles that of you buying a product off me, but I'm not actually selling anything. And maybe it looks bad for them. Like I think it'd be the same as like, well, they can't really support things like a Redbubble design. Like if someone put like a monster design on Redbubble, like they can't support that because it looks bad for their brand. So that's what I think is actually going on. But when it comes to like my YouTube content, like yeah, I'm like a Monster Hunter fan through and through. Yeah, Genprey be wild in this game. I hope Genprey come back. Do I actually want Genprey to come back? I don't know. Maybe we gotta rethink that. How do you feel about the hunter talking in Wilds? I'm totally okay with it. No, I think, okay, the only thing I'm upset about in Monster Hunter Wilds is the roster, and that if you're gonna go through all that effort to make this world so living and breathing and so excellent, then please bring back the old monsters. Put the old monsters in this environment, in this setting, in this gameplay loop. Like, why not? Like, why not have Genprey in that desert? Why do they like, I get it, you know, they want to have a new monster, and that's okay. Having a new monster is fine. But I'm of the perspective that if you're going to go through all that effort, like, please put in the old monsters into that new gameplay loop. And that's my one complaint so far. Now, we haven't seen the whole roster. There's a chance that a ton of old monsters are returning, and we just haven't seen them yet. So, who knows? I remain hopeful. I'm hopeful. Where is that Hermitar? Did he just go back to this area? Oh yes, Monster Freedom Unite. You don't know how much you get hurt. Gotta watch the life bar slowly go down. Still my second favorite game right next to For You. I really like it. Hi Kiryu, thanks for the donation. I love your Fatalis weapons pack, they look fantastic. By the way, have you ever thought about making other places in Monster like you did for Charade, like maybe Moga Village? So, actually, if you go onto my catalog, I have recently updated it to now include locales. So Moga Village and Poke Village are on there because I feel like they would be easy to make. There's a lot of locations that are just too big and complex. Like I can't make the whole like this map right now. I can't make like a desert. Like that would not be possible. But something like it's armored up. Something like you know, a couple buildings from Poke Village, I could do those. And then if you wanted to build it, you just, you know, you build whatever buildings you want from Poke Village. Like another build I want to do is the Caravan. I want to do the Monster 4 Caravan. That way I don't have to build all the villages from Monster 4, I just have to build the Caravan. Stop hyping, fam. The game not even released yet. I can't help but be hyped. Like, you see, when Rise was being advertised, I had a lot of cautious optimism, and then when Sunbreak came out, I was just like, at that point I had lost faith in Rise, that I knew that it was not the game for me. Wilds looks like it's the game for me. It looks like it takes everything that I asked for and somehow has integrated it all in. I think that there is some kind of consensus. I don't know if it's in Japan or if it's in the West or worldwide, that Monster Hunter fans wanted something like Wilds. That was something that we were hoping for. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm already out of potions. Like this has gone south very fast. I might have to do some easier quests. Just because playing at the same time as talking is difficult. There's a lot here. Stop Doom posting about a game that hasn't released yet. Who is Doom posting? There's a lot. Will the stream? Yes, the stream will be uploaded later. We don't know how Wild's tracking works. So far, it seems like a mix between World and Rise. It's most likely going to be, from what I've heard, tracking is, you don't know what, like, you're given a vague location of where the monster is. The secret will help you in finding the monster. Once you find the monster and you track it down the first time, it'll show up on the map the second time you fight it. However, what makes this game interesting is the other dynamics going on. Like, you can just run towards the monster, but if the monster is in a herd, or if the monster is in a particularly dangerous spot, well, like, it's not a good idea to engage the monster at all. Like, you have to... It's less going to be about tracking, per se, and just making good use of the situation. And I think that that's a good balance, that we don't necessarily... Because in the end, people don't really like the tracking. But what we want is we want some kind of system to feel like we're in a real world and we're actually tracking down a monster. And in order, the way to make it work is to completely revolutionize the system. And in this case, yeah, we're revolutionizing the system. We're adding in a new system that basically forces you to think before you run straight towards the monster. And that's cool, you know? I want that. That's what I've been asking for. Like, I think that, like, tracking is cool in theory, but it doesn't really work for Monster Hunter's gameplay loop. Instead, what we want is this a more involved gameplay loop that still makes you look for the monster in their habitat, but it makes you aware of what they're doing in that habitat and what they're capable of. Okay, I should head back to camp before he kills me. Reddit people are wild. Yeah, stay off of Reddit. Strategize the approach. Yeah, it's perfect. Doom posters are fringe minority of player base. Yeah. I'm not gonna point at certain people. I think that it's okay to be cautious. Like, it's absolutely okay to be cautious. I was cautious about Rise, and I ended up being disappointed in that game. Because, like, even when the game came out, I remember that first week, I was really happy, and then very quickly I realized, oh, this game is not for me. Like, I realized that it's really not for me. I still think it's a great game. I think it might be one of the better portable games. But I don't know. It's hard. Just don't pre-order and you'll be fine. Where is he? Oh, he left. Another donation. Thank you, Kiryu. I'm not that knowledgeable on what Capcom does domestically, but it seems like they really care about making a good game, even if it's not exactly what us veterans want from Monster Hunter. It's gonna be good. I think that what veterans want from Monster Hunter is something that just will never happen. I think that if you really want, like, that classic experience, it exists, and there's lots of games that will give you that classic experience. I mean, this game exists. And Monster Hunter 2 exists. You know, you can always play those. I think what I've always wanted is a revolution of the Monster Hunter formula. I've always wanted things like, oh, you know, when the quest ends. This is confirmed. When the quest ends, the 60 seconds at the end of the quest is removed in... Oh, shit. Sorry. I totally talk about I'm not going to swear, and then I just swear. And I've always wanted that to be removed from Monster Hunter. I didn't like the 60 seconds. I wanted to stay out in the field, and it seems like, yeah, in this new game, if you go and you hunt the monster, and you decide, like, you know, you complete the quest and you didn't get the item you wanted, instead of heading back to base camp, instead of heading back to the hub, you can immediately just hunt the monster again. You just go back to its spawn, and you hunt it again, which seems great. Oh, he's almost dead. He's almost dead. I gotta play it very safe, very careful. I like the slow pace, to be honest, even more. Yeah, no, I love slow-paced Monster Hunter, and that's what I am excited for in Wilds. That, from what I've seen, like, okay, like when Gaijin Hunter's talking about how the first impressions said that for example, the longsword was like an entirely new weapon. Like, it had completely different moves. That is so interesting. Like, I want to see what this new longsword is like, because I liked longsword in 2nd gen. I mean, I'm using it right here, but I would never use it in, like, 4th gen or 5th gen. Sometimes I'll use it in 5th gen because it's easy baby mode, but, like, I hated longsword in Rise. I absolutely hated longsword. And it was always a favorite weapon of mine, so it was sad to sort of see it fall, I guess? Not be the same anymore. I need him to calm down. Oh, okay. I just let myself walk into that. No! No, 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 no! Oh. There we go. Cool. That wasn't so bad. Well, it's just the realization that they have the mean to work more towards that ambition. Yeah, exactly. So far, I'm loving Rise, but I also don't really have a standard for the series. Yeah, exactly. Ever since the devs said the Monster World is the closest thing to their original Monster, I'm not gonna doubt about their direction. Yeah. I imagine Monster Hunter game where it's just like 2nd gen, but it has amazing graphics, better controls, and a lot of other stuff that comes with new Monster entry, like new players and such. Yeah. What are people thinking of about focus mode? Okay, so focus mode... It seems like focus mode is not mandatory at all. Like, I don't think that focus mode is mandatory, and I don't think that we will have to use focus mode. And that is a good thing. But, of course, I might be wrong. You know, who knows? Maybe focus mode ends up being, like, mandatory as in, like, it's meta. Like, if you're not using focus mode, you're giving yourself a harder time. And if that's the case, then, yeah, unfortunately, that means that we're going to have to use focus mode a lot more. I don't want to use it, because I like the classic movesets. Plum, Diamo, Hormatar, Claw. I like the classic movesets, and I don't exactly want to... I don't really want to deal with a brand new sort of system. Ignored the background, I'm sorry. Yeah, I hope it's not like Clutch Claw. But as far as I know, it's not mandatory. As far as what we've heard. Of course, again, we haven't seen the game in action. We don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. Here we go, a monster game where you hunt monsters. Oh, bold idea. It might break new ground. Do you want a lock-on system? A new lock-on system for Wilds? That is what focus mode is. It's basically a new lock-on system. Now, not Wilds, World actually did have a lock-on system. It was really weird. I watched someone, like a friend of mine, online friend of mine, he played through World like it was Dark Souls. He was using the Defender gear, because no one told him not to. He was like, oh, well, I'll just use this because it's powerful. He had no idea. Like, he had no understanding of the game. Basically, I tuned in. I was like, oh, he's been playing Monster. That's cool. And then, like, I didn't really think about it. And I never really saw him playing. And then time would go by, and then I would catch him, and he was live streaming it. And I saw him fighting Nergigante, full Defender gear. He only has, like, I don't know, 10 hours in the game. Like, not even. He's never had to grind. And he's been playing with mouse and keyboard, which is fine. Or was it? I don't know if it was mouse and keyboard. All I know is that he was locked onto the monster, which is a feature that I've never used before. But when I saw it, I was so, like, weirded out. I'm like, huh? You could do that? Because I'm so used to just manually moving the camera. It seems like focus mode is for people that don't know how to hit certain parts of the monster because, like, they may not have a full understanding of their weapon. This is something that I don't have much of an issue with, but I can see where people could consider it a quality of life change. Anyway, let's improve some weapons. So a lot of my weapons are in G rank now. Like, that needs Rajang. That's G rank Lao Shan. That needs Ucanlo Stone. G-Rank Nargacuga. G-Rank Rathalos. Copper Blangunga. I need 4 Lightning Sacks. I do not want to fight more. So I got myself the G-Rank Kezu armor. Not Kezu, Kieran armor, because I needed something to get me through G-Rank. And thankfully, there is a quest to hunt Kieran in G-Rank immediately, because there's an event quest for it. It's horrible. Don't recommend it. But I was able to get myself the Kieran armor. Unfortunately, it also means you have to hunt Kezu. And hunting Kezu in G-Rank is, I would argue, worse, because I can stomach Kieran. I cannot stomach Kezu in these games. So I don't really want to have to fight Kezu again. What about this? I need a Rathian Thorn. I don't think I even have Rathian unlocked. Ooh. That's cool. And then this one is all Rathian as well. Gold Rathian Carapace. Okay. Well, I'll have to hunt that at some point. Lao Shan's Ruby. Yamasukami. Don't need to upgrade that, because that just upgrades into this, which I already have. Honestly, I want more manual control of the camera. Yeah. You rotate your wrist like 30% claw grip is super comfy. I could see that. Manual all day, firmly leave claw grip is not bad at all. I think that's... I don't really like claw grip, but it's fine. Lock-on sucks in Monster Hunter. The game doesn't work like Souls. Exactly. Regarding weapons, I personally don't like what they did to bow in 5th gen. Much prefer when it was slow and methodical. I'm hoping so. Kezu was one of the worst monsters in the series. Kezu is adorable. I love Kezu. I love them switching. Was watching a streamer, the player was new and directionally challenged, so chat told them there was a lock-on function that they were playing with was like, huh? What? That's a thing? Yeah, exactly. And I don't need it. I can, again, like, I can understand why it'd be considered a quality of life change. Oh, I can upgrade this. T-Rex Katana. I just need money. Fatalis Sickle. Okay, so every time I try to fight Fatalis in this game, I can't do it. And it's because he's kind of bullshit. Like, he's really bullshit in this game. The only Fatalis that I actually like to hunt is White Fatalis. White Fatalis, I think, is actually fun. When do you think Wilds is going to come out? January, February, or later? I'm hoping it'll come out in the... I'm hoping that it comes out earlier in the year. But you never know. We never know. I could just keep trying to get myself up to the next rank. Emerald Congalala. Emerald Congalala is probably the one I have to hunt, right? There's one in the Old Jungle and there's one in the Great Forest. I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm going to go to Game Facts, and I'm gonna search up what quest I have to do. Guild G rank. Kazoo, okay, did that. Okay, Plesioth. Shit. Emerald Congalala in the Old Jungle. Okay, so the one I have to do is Emerald Congalala in the Old Jungle. And then I have to do Plesioth. That Plesioth is not going to be good. That is not going to be a fun quest at all. Emerald Congalala in the Old Jungle doesn't seem too bad. I feel like I can take this on. Are you playing this on PPSSPP with a texture pack? Well, I think that's the only way to play it, so yes. This is a custom texture pack. It's very minute differences, and it's just for my own personal taste. In other words, it's cringe. It's cringe anime shit. But for those that have like watched my videos beyond just my Monster Hunter videos, I mean, this is just par for the course. This is just kind of like my personality. Don't need sonic bombs. I will need deodorant against this guy. life powder. I will also need... I'm just gonna get myself some max potions, because I haven't made those yet in a while. Like, I have made them, I just haven't made them in a while, so... And I'm also gonna use GameFAQs to check what his weakness is, because I don't want to be stuck there hammering on the monster with a weapon. He's weak to ice. That's fine. I've got an ice weapon. I've got Blango Destructor. This equipment set, I have Runner, which is nice. That's just a bonus. I've got Element Attack Up and Attack Up Small with Divine Protection, which is nice. Having Elemental Attack Up is great in a game like this, where Elemental Weakness exploitation is, like, key. That's key to winning this game. Cringe but free. Exactly, I'm cringe but free. Thank you. Jacob, is Oroshi Kieran armor acceptable? This is... I'm wearing the Oroshi Kieran armor in this game, but I've texture packed it to be the regular Kieran armor, and that's just because I prefer the... I prefer the original. The Oroshi Kieran armor is cool. It's a cool alt, but personally, yeah, I just prefer the original. You need deodorant? So do most Monster Hunter players. Congalala is my most hated monster. He's somewhere in these trees. Oh, it's behind me. Oh! Oh! He's scaring me. He came out of the shadows. Okay, if I suddenly play worse, it's because my cat is attempting to cuddle me right now, but sorry, cat. This is not a good time. So I should have Steel Uragan made, as well as Uragan when I eventually get around the Lego model. People really don't like Steel Uragan. He really is just the stinky Uragan. It's funny how people like Congalala more than Uragan. You're so good at building Lego. Do you have tips for new builders like me? Literally the big trick is just keep experimenting. Keep experimenting. Never stop experimenting. Keep putting pieces together, and you'll figure it out eventually. You'll understand the crazy building techniques. Another thing that's really useful is unironically just studying how Lego does their builds, because there are techniques that they do, unique techniques, a lot of which I borrow. I got a Doom ad right after that. Really? I've got YouTube Premium, so I never get ads. It was funny, I don't know when new movies come out in theaters at all anymore. I never know when new movies come out in theaters because I don't get ads, because I'm not watching TV. And I have ad blocker, and I have YouTube Premium, so I never get ads. And so whenever a new movie comes out, I'm like, huh? That came out? Wait, why didn't that stink me? Why didn't I get stinked up from that? One last question. Is this the Freedom Unite complete patch? Yes, this is the Freedom Unite complete patch, which is very easy to set up. It's also very easy to get. It's like, like super recommended. Oh, come on. I'm almost better off. If I want to sharpen my sword, I'm almost... Yep. I'm better off just leaving. Uh-oh, stinky. What does it change? It changes a lot of things. You can hold the button to gather and carve. That's a huge change. It changes the music to be the second-gen music instead of the first-gen music or the Frontier music, which is just a personal thing that I prefer. Like, the only time I ever want to hear the Frontier music is in Frontier or Generations Ultimate. And when I play second-gen, I want it to feel like second-gen. Like, that's a very small aesthetic thing. Like this music, this spotted music here, this is the second-gen spotted music, not the first gen, because in Freedom Unite, they actually used a lot of music from the first portable game and Monster Hunter 1 instead of Monster Hunter 2, because Portable 2nd is a sequel to Portable 1, not a port of Monster Hunter 2. But I like the music from 2nd gen, so that's one of the optional changes in Freedom Unite Complete. And a bunch of other things, like you can you get all of the stuff from the Japanese version, including the event quests and the ticket system, the ticket items, I mean, for the event quests, weapons and armor. You also get you also have the ability to change your equipment at the item box in the Gathering Hall, and you can also use the table at the Gathering Hall to get your food buff. Yeah, he got me there. He stinked me. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Vespoids back. I don't hate Vespoids. I think that again, I like when the game is working against you, and the game is trying everything that it can to be a difficult time for you. I think that it can do that in better ways than others. That can be done in better ways. Like, it's kind of annoying when your bug net keeps breaking. I don't really like that. But I do like when the world itself is like antagonistic towards you and attacking you. Yeah, this just sucks. I'm gonna try again to sharpen my sword. Isn't this the game with the Vespoid Queen? Yes, this is the game with the Vespoid Queen. Do you guys want me to fight Vespoid Queen? I could fight Vespoid Queen. Give me back that potion. Shit. Yeah. Are you gonna make a video on the Wilds previews? I did know, like in terms of like the footage that got, not the footage, the information that got released. It's unreliable at this point, and everyone else kind of made a video on it. Like, my thoughts are pretty much just, yeah, no, I'm happy. I don't have much else to say. Once, like, video of it comes out, I'll probably talk about it. But as it stands, I'm not, like, I'm not full of thoughts, you know? Like, I don't have, like, a ton of opinions yet. I need to actually see the footage myself. They might, you know, some of the stuff might just be inaccurate. I do have another potential complaint about the game, and that's that I'm pretty sure the game is going to have an issue with health bloat, monster health bloat, because according to Gaijin Hunter, the railgun dragon, as we're calling it, I think it's Rai Dao. I think that's the leaked name, Rai Dao. That the Thunder Wyvern dragon. That's not actually a flagship. That we were wrong. It apparently did like 3,000 damage to the Doshoguma, which is crazy. If that's low rank and it's doing 3,000 damage, then I'm worried about the health pools. I'm hoping that 3,000 damage is like 50% of his health. That's what I'd like. I don't really want monsters in low rank with 15,000 health to begin with. That's, to me, is silly. What I always liked about Monster Hunter was the relatively low health pools and the relatively low amount of damage that the hunter dishes out. Like, I don't like massive inflated health pools. I think it's more satisfying if a monster only has like 100 health, but you have to hit it like you have to hit it like 80 times because you're bad example, but you know what I mean. Like, I like when monsters have smaller health pools and the information is. Another thing that comes with this patch is that our attack is not bloated, so I have 215 attack instead of. I mean, this weapon would probably have closer to 1,000 attack if it was unbloated, but I don't really like bloated. I don't like it when anything's bloated. I like the lower numbers. It's more satisfying. The demo are usually high rank. That's what I've heard. So, if that's the case, then maybe I'm a little bit less worried. But still, at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, monsters in this game I'm playing right now, some of them have 3,000 as their health, even in G rank. In some cases on some quests. This monster right here probably has closer to 6,000 health. Right now, this Emerald Congalala probably has closer to 6. Which I think is quite balanced for this game. But I don't like Iceborne. This is I think I've talked about this before. I don't enjoy playing Iceborne, and it's because of the health bloat. Because when you go from base game to Iceborne, the game expects you to have decorations and to min-max in a certain way that I think is just kind of too much. Please taunt or something. Okay, well, I still got my sharpen. And I don't like that. I like how in this game, I'm currently using high rank equipment, and I'm able to defeat these monsters in a pretty relatively... Like, I guess I should say, like, the give and take between the hits that I'm dishing out and the hits that the monster's dealing to me feel appropriate. Like, I don't feel like I'm wailing on the monster unnecessarily. I feel like I'm barely getting hits in, and they are satisfying. And that's my issue with Iceborne. Sunbreak also has that issue, I find. It's a little bit better in Sunbreak because it doesn't expect you to have to be as min-maxed as Iceborne was. But I have always found it frustrating. I like base world a lot, and I like the balance in base world. I think the base world is good, but and most people feel it the moment they get to G rank in Iceborne and they are tasked to fight Beatotus. And immediately they're like, why is this taking so long to hunt? And the thing is, too, is like the amount of time it takes is the same as it is here. Like, this is taking me a long time to hunt this guy. This isn't done in like 10 minutes. This is probably going to take 15 to 20, which is okay. The difference is the amount of hits I'm dishing out to the monster versus the amount of hits the monster's dishing to me. Where I feel like, again, I'm barely getting hits in, and when I do, they're satisfying. Like, I feel like I'm smart when I wait for an opening. I feel like I'm intelligent. And Iceborne, I'm just endlessly wailing on the monster and being like, why isn't it dead yet? Will you play Monster GU with me and I play on Nintendo Switch? No. I haven't booted up my Nintendo Switch in a long time. I don't have a lot of interest in playing GU. This was a bad idea. Why did I sharpen? He's mad. Yeah. When I played MH3, I mean, I remember hunting a red kazoo and finished the quest with 3 minutes to spare. Granted, I was worse back then. Yeah. Kind of shame even made it so you could also restock at portable camps too. Yeah, that's gonna be contentious with people. I've described it before that I'm okay with the idea of having a camp that you can restock at. I've always been okay with that idea. My issue has been the ease at which the game gives you items. This is always my talking point, that I feel like when you gain items in this game, in any Monster game, it should feel earned. That, like what I'm doing right now, if I'm heading out and I'm grabbing honey, it should really feel like I'm grabbing honey here, and then that should be a reward. And if I happen to collect 20 honey on this quest, I should be allowed to use that 20 honey to make more Mega Potions. Nothing found. That does not mean that there's nothing else there. Yeah, there we go. 7 honey. The issue I have with Monster Hunter World and Rise is that the game just gives you free items constantly. So when you do go back to your item box in the camp, you have thousands of the item. That has always been my issue. Because if you go back to the camp and you just don't have any at all because the game is brutal with the amount that it gives you, then I think that it would be completely fair. He's not here, is he? That's the difference. There he is. Because I think that there are appropriate situations where, yeah, like if you, like straight up, like if you forgot something, it's way better to just go to your camp and replenish your stock that way. Not replenish your stock, grab the item that you forgot about, rather than having to restart the quest and sit through loading screens. And I think that that's the main reason why they've added it. It's not to make it an easy baby mode. I think what makes it easy baby mode is literally the fact that the game just gives you free healing items constantly. Like, I don't like when you grab like a potion, I mean a herb, it just makes a potion for you. Because again, that's just, to me, that is easy baby mode, more so than being able to restock the camps. I have, like, no healing items left. I'm hoping that, at some point within the next year, they announce another map, because I want to see another map in Wilds. Like, I need to know what the other maps look like. I think that the desert looks great, but I need to know what their forests are going to look like. Forests make or break Monster Hunter for me. I don't feel like we've gotten a good forest since 3rd gen. The Everwood was pretty good, but not exactly Perfect. It was almost there. The Everwood was almost there. I just wish it was a proper map and not RNG map. The Flooded Forest was great in 3rd gen. Want a Deserted Island remake? That might also be cool. They might do like a coastal map. I don't see them bringing back any of the older maps. That's more of a portable thing. Like Portable 6 will probably bring back some of the favorites. Like, I fully suspect Portable 6 to be like Monster Hunter 3. Like, I think that that's the one that Underwater Combat's coming back for. That's where the Gaia Curse is coming back for. There's going to be a bunch of content from Rise that it's also going to be in there. Like, expect like all the monsters from Rise just to come back to Portable 6. And more monsters from the older gens. Yeah. Portable 6 is going to be the one full of nostalgia. That's where the Gaia Curse is going to come back. That's a safe assumption. But I don't think for Wilds. I don't think there's any plan for things like Underwater Combat. Yo, is he weak? He's weak. Did I get the message that there's items in the camp? Because I didn't. Maybe I should check. I should just rest at the camp anyway. I didn't like the Ancient Forest. Like, I think that it's fine for... Yeah, nothing. I think it's fine for Monster Hunter World, and I think that it's a definite step in the right direction. But a lot of it had to do with the overall art direction. The game just isn't dark enough when it wants to be dark. And the foliage isn't dense enough. Oh, cool. But of course, like, my opinions on this kind of stuff are just weird and wild. Like, I'm the kind of person where I don't really like... Like, I don't think that the Ancient Forest is green enough, if that makes any sense. Like, there's too many other colors. Oh, where... Did he go there to sleep? That's weird. So maybe don't take my criticisms on Ancient Forest seriously. Because, they're just a little bit silly. I'm always kind of just a little bit silly with my opinions. Don't take me seriously. If you look at the world prototype video, yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. I like how it looked in the world prototype video. Shock trap was stolen. I forgot I brought traps, but I feel like I'm fine. I could probably save those traps for Plesio. Kieran is very easy to kill with spread heavy bowgun. Probably. What weapon did you use to fight Kieran? He's a pain. I used longsword. I've just fought Kieran a lot to the point where, like, I have his moveset memorized. And if you have very high thunder defense, like I did, his attacks do very little to you. As long as you don't get hit by his physical attacks. His physical attacks are what's going to get you. I've gotten to the point where I have him relatively memorized, so I know how to dodge his physical attacks. Yeah, because those are the ones that will just kill you. The thunder attacks, if you have high thunder defense. You just unfortunately the the only reason why I was able to beat the Kieran was because I had just hunted Kieran so much. Because I actually don't recommend getting the G rank Kieran equipment. It's not worth it. But yeah, heavy bowgun, it'll make you win anything. You like the Ancient Forest because you like getting lost. Me too. Like, that is something I do like about the Ancient Forest. I do think that it is, like, I'm at a point where I don't consider it confusing anymore. I did at first. And I do believe that that's why they added in the Scout Flies, because it was confusing. But the more you play World, eventually it stops being confusing. You just have to keep playing it. Spread shot versus Kieran in 2nd gen was kind of cheat mode. You just point to the general direction and all shots land on the horn. Yeah. I brought a fire weapon with longsword and I just kept sniping his head. It was slow and tedious. And I need, like, full concentration, but... Emerald Congalala. Yes, I'd like to save. Overall, yeah, no, I'm so excited for Monster Hunter Wilds that, like, it's maybe it's bad to just be a hype man right now, you know, just like a nonsense hype man. But I can't help but be nonsense hype man when every piece of news that comes up is exactly what I've wanted for the franchise for years, you know? Like, it's... I keep saying it. I don't know why I keep grabbing the snake bee larva. I don't need that. I should just sell it. I also should just sell a lot of these mushrooms, because I'm not even using them. This game is a good example where getting Mega Potions is not exactly easy. Like, you have to manually get honey, because the amount of honey I just got at the farm was 3. Like, that's nothing. There's no way to buy herbs in this game. No, you can from the granny. But the selection of herbs is difficult. Actually, no, you can buy herbs. Yeah, you can buy herbs. You just can't buy herbs in the, what's it called? In the hub. The Gathering Hall. What am I saying? You can't just get blue mushroom. I know that's a case. That's something here. Like, I guess the process to make a Mega Potion in this game, the process to acquire a Mega Potion in this game, versus the process to acquire a Mega Potion in, where should I send them? Desert? Yeah, swamp. Let's do swamp. Give me those pure crystals. Is completely different than it is in World. Getting a Mega Potion in World is much easier, which makes restocking at camp better. If I were to restock a camp at that quest, I only had whatever honey I had on hand. Like, right now, I only have 4. How many spare Mega Potions do I have? 2. How many spare Max Potions do I have? 3. I'm fresh out of luck if I, you know, if I don't bring them. Why don't I have a shock trap? Prey Fangs? I am out of luck if I don't have any honey. And I could theoretically farm for honey, but I feel like that's at that point it's like worth, like, that's a level of preparation that you can't really do in World. In World, you don't have to do anything, especially in Iceborne. You just get free Mega Potions from the minigame. And I don't feel like that's the same kind of work. Like, it's not the same kind of worthwhile work. So, here's the deal. I need to hunt Plesioth. Okay, there's two options here. Either I hunt Kezu, and I suffer, and I upgrade my Thunder Weapon, right? Or I use the Thunder Weapon as is and suffer through Plesioth. Alright, what do you think I should do? Generally hope a bunch of stuff interrupts hunts so that grinding feels different each fight. Are we feeling about Wilds removing the quest timers? I don't think that they're actually removing the quest timers. I don't think they actually are. Remember in the game, I have the Warrior's Hammer and Sarah Symmetry and Muklava Rajay Mixet. Yeah, it's good. Used to play for Yumi Night. Just use what I have. Oh shit. Okay, I mean, we could try. Regardless, you're gonna suffer. Yeah. I guess fighting Kezu isn't that bad, but I need 4 Thunder Sacks, and 4 Thunder Sacks is awful. And the only increase it gets is 2 more Thunder and 30 attack. It doesn't even go to White Sharpness. Do I have a different Thunder Weapon? Kezu Shock Sword. I need Rubbery Hide. King Thunder Sword. Oh! I could bring the Great Sword. I also have this dual blade set. It gives me plus 12 defense, 21 thunder, 10 paralysis. I don't know, I feel like this might be the way to go. 195 attack, 73 thunder. Great sword. Against Plesioth? Maybe. I'd ask, are you worried about focus mode? I'm not actually worried about focus mode. I think that it's probably going to be optional. And if it's optional and not meta, like Clutch Claw was, not like meta, but like, it's not like required. Okay, we are gonna try. Yeah, we're gonna try. We'll try it. Is it green Plesioth or regular Plesioth I need to hunt? Let's find out. Build G rank. It's regular Plesioth. Okay, so he'll have slightly less health. I'm gonna double check that his weakness is actually thunder. I'm pretty sure it is. Plesioth. Fire and thunder. They're exactly the same. So if I have a better fire weapon. Do I have a better fire weapon? It says better attack, but it's not better fire. I'm kind of banking on my really high thunder right now. Plesioth, I mean, poison is also not a bad idea with Plesioth. I do have a good poison weapon. Queen Rapier. Really good poison weapon. But Plesioth only takes 120 damage from poison, and that's not really going to be helpful in G rank. It's helpful in low rank. To make my life easier, I think I'm going to bring items to make potions, except maybe I'll just bring honey. I don't have any herbs. I could cancel the quest and yeah, let's see that. This is just gonna be an awful quest no matter what. Like I don't expect this to go well. fighting him in the desert, which means he's gonna be stuck underground the entire time. Do you like how this game just has armor stones you can just buy? Isn't that crazy? Wild. Oh, I could have bought them here probably for cheaper. Oh well. Oh well. That's not you, right? This is you. There was a Vespa Queen quest. Okay, I'll do it after this. Depending on how this goes. I don't think I need Book of Combos 3, right? Just 1 and 2 should be fine. I think so. A hot drink. Lots of healing. Traps. Pitfall trap doesn't work in the cave, does it? Oh well. Oh well. No frogs. I forgot about that. It's too late now. No, I also forgot to eat. No, I have to abandon. Wouldn't it be great if I could eat and grab items from camp? You also could have like bought Rathlos and Rathian Scale for like 5Ks any. Also kind of weird. It is weird. Frog. 10? I don't think I need 10. Whatever. So yeah, you can eat a meal here just by drinking. There you go. Easy peasy. The great sword you're wearing is based off of a Japanese ceremonial sword called Seven Branch Sword. That's why I like the older Monster games. There's a lot of lore behind the older weapons. Yeah. It's pretty incredible. A lot of the... there was a certain longsword that I have that's called, like, the Gaelic Flame, which is odd that it's just called the Gaelic Flame, which is... It's weird whenever you hear, like, a very specific Earth term. Because, like, some terms are pretty vague. Like, potion, that's a vague term. That's not necessarily only Earth. Like, a fantasy world could have a potion. A fantasy world could have a sword. But, like, the moment you say, like, something's Gaelic. Huh? Where do you fish? Frog. You looking for Scotland on the Monster World map? Could be due to localization. Not always. It's not always. I mean, in the Japanese version, the Tower of Babel is specifically referenced. Why is he not going for this? What do you mean? Go for the frog. Did I do it wrong? Yeah, he's just up here. Of course I is. probably just both traps work. Okay. Then I'm going to use both traps. I never understood why Plesioth is so ginormous. I like that he's big. As a kid, I actually really liked Plesioth. Like, and I think that's the reason why I never was actually bothered by his hitboxes. I just thought he was a cool monster. He's not that. I did guard that. Completely missing all my attacks. Oh, what a great use of a trap. And now he's gonna like one-shot me. We're good. We're good. Use an attack. Use an attack. Oh. Plesioth was also meant to be like one of the endgame fights in MH1. Like a lot of the wyverns were basically the endgame. Like Yankaku really was like the tutorial. But almost all the wyverns were at like equal footing near the end. Like Kezu, Plesioth, Gravios, Diablos, like they're all kind of equal in that game. The way that their health pool is. Obviously some are harder than others, like Gravios is definitely at the top. But the way the game was balanced, if you look at the quest list and if you look at how it all works, they changed it in 2nd gen. They made some of the wyverns lower in rank. Like Plesioth they placed lower. And same with Kezu. You know, originally they were closer in position. I would love to have a taste of Plesioth caviars. That'd be fun. Tastes good. I want to eat Plesioth. It'd be great. Divine Protection is very hard. Plesioth is 4-star. In 1st gen, Plesioth is after Rathalos. Hey, exactly. Yeah. But Rathalos is at the end. Usually at the end of a rank in 2nd gen. Do you think old monsters like Rathalos will ever get a very substantial moveset rework like Fatalis did? I feel like that they've just gotten like slow reworks as time has gone on. I don't think they've really needed like a massive rework because they've already gotten kind of an overhaul as the years went by. Like I don't feel like it's fair to really compare like 5th gen Rathalos to 1st gen. 1st gen Rathalos actually sucked. 5th gen really is not that bad. Eat the frog. Eat the frog. I really need to know, like, am I doing this wrong? Why is the frog not working? Or is he, or is Plesioth just suck in this game? Good old Rathalos. Minute-long world tour. You see, that's not even his worst move. Oh, no, he did grab it. Yeah, absolutely. I missed it because I was reading chat. No. Rathalos' worst move is roar into backwards fireball. That's his worst attack. Flying around the map is not that bad. It's when he roars, you're caught in the roar, and then he just backwards fireballs you. There we go. There we go. Thought I could skip that. Go. Get him into that trap. Let's be smart about it. I hate the backwards fireball. That is his worst attack. No question. Stays put. There we go. So his weak spot is his neck. Right here. Yeah, there we go. That's the weak spot. Tell by the blood. Takes way more damage there. Hopefully, like, monsters like Narcocuga receives more moveset behavior. Yeah, like, I would see... People are like, oh, I don't want Narcocuga back. Well, what I don't want Narcocuga back if he's going to be like how he was in Rise, but I want Narcocuga back if they're going to give him, like, brand new ecological behavior in the game that's about ecological behavior. I want to see Narcocuga do the things that I've always kind of imagined he would do as a real animal. That'd be cool, and that's what is so exciting about Wilds and the potential of our favorite monsters returning. Plesioth does have a lot of openings. It sucks I have to do like hit and run tactics. Or they bring back Plesioth and he becomes goofier in Wilds. That'd be nice. It seems like they won't be bringing back Cephalus or Cephalus. They're interested in the new Alamara. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna do my obligatory. I'm really thankful you guys are all here. I really appreciate you guys sticking around despite it being Shadow of the Birch Tree launch day. Why am I sharpening? Why am I sharpening right now? This is a bad idea. Never played Elden Ring, maybe one day, but Monhunt takes all my time. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to talk about Wilds. Again, the reason why I'm doing this stream and I'm not just doing a video about Wilds, all the Wilds news, is because I'm just so casual about it. Like, I don't have much to say other than, yeah, it's cool. I don't know. I'm very optimistic. Did they ever bring back the Blob Monster Yamasukami in later titles? If not, did they want him to return? I have very little interest in Yamasukami as a monster. I think that he was cool when he was introduced, but he's one of those monsters that just does not fit modern Monster Hunter, and it would just be weird to bring him back. There's a lot of monsters like that. Like, I even think, I say it a lot, I think Duramboros doesn't fit modern Monster Hunter. I think he fits older Monster Hunter better, which is why I don't think Duramboros is coming back. I'm surprised that even Uragan came back, frankly, because I don't feel like Uragan fits modern Monster Hunter. Let's hate that Capcom is gatekeeping the gameplay for Wilds until Gamescom. Yeah, I don't like it, and that's the big reason why I'm also not I'm not gonna do a video on Hearsay, because who knows? It might be crazier, or it might be not as crazy as what people are saying. Also, things could be completely inaccurate. They're also something that's really important is according to the interviews, like, they're really not sure about a lot of specifics in the game in terms of like when it comes to just like numbers, like how long is the seasons go for, how much damage should certain things do to the monsters. These are like balance number stuff. They're still unsure of a lot of that kind of stuff. So if anything, they're probably just embarrassed to show off the game right now, because it's just not done. They're gonna wait until Gamescom. They have a slightly more polished version of the game. So everything seems to be still up in the air. Like, they put everything into making those new systems be awesome, and then they're like, okay, well, now we have to actually playtest it. I wouldn't be surprised if the bulk of the game is done. They're just in playtest mode. Like, they just have to, the next, like, year is like, okay, make sure this thing works. Because a massive game like that probably needs tons of debug time. So much debug time. He's nowhere near that. This quest is gonna take a while. Stick around, folks. Probably aim more for winter 25. I'd be sad if it was winter 2025, but I want to let them play. Yeah, like I've been. My cat is now biting me. She's in my lap. She's just biting me while I play. Why did that hit me? Not fair. I also heard rumors like True Charge Slash has been removed from Greatsword, which I'm not opposed to. In fact, I would like that. I don't really like. True Charge Slash makes me not want to play Greatsword. I like how it's more hit and run, and I don't know. I don't even really like charge gameplay at all for the Greatsword. Just I liked it in first gen. I like its moveset in first gen. The charge is cool though. It's like a nice little bonus. Get some extra damage in. We see the launch date further and further. To me right now, it's summer 2025 at the minimum. Probably. Does Capcom have any other big releases for next year? 'Cause I don't think so. I think this is their big release. This year's big release was Dragon's Dogma, but that came and went like a passing flame. The fans of that game were really happy, but like I don't feel like it blew up at all. Fits with their minus 6 month marketing cycle before release. Yeah, but they always kind of had like a release date attached. Why am I sharpening my sword? That is not what I wanted. I want a hot drink. Maybe Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I doubt it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some like. There must be some kind of like licensing nightmare to work with Marvel now. Like I can't imagine it's fun to work with Marvel these days. Seeing that artwork that Capcom made, like the anime artwork of the Marvel characters, I'm like, damn. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I really do feel like if Japan had the opportunity to make a Marvel project, they would do it so well. They do it so much justice. Like I really do have faith in them more so than Hollywood to actually make something cool and grand and epic and comic booky, because we haven't really had like Marvel's falling apart. I'm not saying that we should Capcom make a Marvel game per se, but also I'm kind of like, it'd be cool. I think he's leaving the area. Is he not? He's he's not. What is he doing? That was really good iframing. And the microtransaction issue was not really an issue, it's just bad optics. Dragon Dogma 2, even though performance issues that had me put on the back burner after a few hours of story, I'm gonna restart when they fix it. Microtransactions really seems to kill any hype for Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, I noticed that. Dragon's Dogma 2, like, yeah, it kind of just, like, came and went like a firecracker. It was gone. And the fans of Dragon's Dogma were, you know, they were happy, but... I'm at a point with microtransactions where they're such an integral part of the gaming industry. I don't see them somehow removing them. Like, I don't think it's ever going away. Games are just becoming games as a service. Especially from big companies. Like, it's either you completely boycott the big company, and you boycott it completely, or you enjoy your favorite games and just ignore the microtransactions that they offer. Is it predatory? Yeah, but all video game, like, all corporations are predatory. Everything that they're doing is predatory. They want your money. There is an artist there at the end of the day that's making a game, and we appreciate the art that person's making, the game. But still, what do they want from you? They want your money. They could be giving us the game for free if they wanted to. They're not, because they want it. They want us to buy it. Part of it is because you have to. Obviously, the artist making it should be paid for. Okay, he does not want to be frogged. Some companies are just less predatory than others. Cool. Just gonna jump over. It did quite well in numbers, at least. Also, the microtransaction just looks like the higher-ups wanted microtransaction. Devs just picked random bullshit to microtransactions. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually what happened. They were just like, "Can you make something microtransaction? Can you add it?" And it's like, "We don't want to add it. Can you make something that's already in the game a microtransaction?" And they're like, "Fine, fine, okay, we'll do that." See what they're doing in Street Fighter 6. Well, I don't see anything. I don't see anything about that. I don't know what they're doing in Street Fighter 6. And again, I don't care, because I'm one of the people that genuinely does not think it's like, I don't think it's that big of a deal that people are making it. Like, I think that if you want to get mad at corporations for nickel and diming you, they're like, it's literally their entire, all they want is to nickel and dime you. Like, every single little thing that they have ever done has been to get money off of you. Why? I just let that happen. So to me it's a weird to be like hyper focusing on one little thing. Like, this is the problem. No, it's not the problem. It's the capitalistic world in general. And to me, it's like, well, if I'm already gonna, like, I don't want to be one of those hypocrites that I'm like supporting the game, but then I'm like, oh, but I don't like the micro. There's no difference. If I'm supporting the game, I'm supporting everything that they're doing. If I give them any sort of money, that means I'm voting with my wallet. If I really wanted to boycott them, I would completely boycott them. Microtransactions do not ruin the game. They never. Well, I guess in some cases they can ruin the game, but in this case, this game is not ruined by microtransactions. It hasn't. Oh, I knocked him over. I went swimming yesterday. it was fun. It's a lot of fun to go swimming during the summer. When I see Plesioth, it reminds me of when I was a kid. Like, I was a pretty little I was a pretty autistic kid. Anytime I would go swimming, I'd pretend I was Plesioth or Lagiacrus, and I'd be like, I'd make all the noises. Like, guys, like, I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to just be. Anyway, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to go swimming in the summer. It's starting to heat up here, so I really feel like a Plesioth in the old desert. I don't care if I'm cringe. I think by choosing not to spend money on microtransactions, you are making a good difference on the report. Absolutely. I tend to not buy the microtransactions. I tend not to, with the exception of the stuff that I might, in some cases, enjoy. But for the most part, I rarely ever touch the microtransactions. Rarely ever touch. Sometimes if it's like a cosmetic thing. Again, that's why I'm a hypocrite. Like, I don't. Like, I'm not gonna come out here and say I'm protesting this stuff if in the same vein I'm like, well, I do buy it from time to time. So I don't think I'm the best person for that. If anything, I'm more of a, I wouldn't say I'm a supporter of it, but like I'm not like a absolute denier of it, I guess. Plesioth is just wasting my time now, which is not cool. I became Jin Moran the second I got into any pool. See, there you go. There you go. That's a real Monster Hunter fan right there. Why does the Kieran armor make it seem like the hunter has a dumpy, though? Because the hunter has always had a dumpy. But yeah, no, the Kieran armor is definitely there to accentuate that. This applies for the male as well. I'm glad that Capcom is not afraid to sexualize both men and women, and I think that they should just continue to do that. I definitely think that there is, like, there is some kind of issue with the different armors between male and female, but I don't think it's that big of an issue that people make it out to be. Like, I think in the Monster Hunter world, there probably is just, like, you know, there's like a cultural sense of femininity and masculinity that's displayed through clothing, like how it is in our world. And I don't think it's that deep. Maybe in some cases it might be a bit too much, and maybe see, the thing is I don't want to like presume that there's like some kind of like patriarchy or misogyny in Monster Hunter. I think that's silly because I've never seen it. Like, women are in high places of, you know, like it seems like there is a sense of equality in Monster Hunter. It might literally just be that in Monster Hunter people just like a certain type of fashion. Like, I don't think it's like a patriarchal sort of system that's caused we could consider like sexist armors. I think legitimately in Monster Hunter, the culture is women just like to dress like this. That's just how it is. I don't think it's that deep. But people make it out to be very deep because, you know, politics is everything. I don't think it's ever been that deep. Not in Monster Hunter. Maybe in other games. It definitely seems like in Monster Hunter, I think women especially they just want to dress like this. They like to dress like this. Otherwise, and I mean, you have options. You don't have to dress like this. Have an option to have a different fashion depending on your body type you've picked. That would be, yeah, that'd be great. I'd like that. I'd like that. I would not be opposed to that. I think it would be cool. I think especially for like helmets and stuff. You know, stuff that's like, because it doesn't make any sense that women in this game don't wear helmets. Like, it's not even, at that point, it's no longer a fashion thing. It's legitimately a, like, in terms of being able to hunt the monsters. Are you gonna jump? It's like, that's just a hunting the monster thing. Like, why are you not wearing a helmet, lady? You got armor like the Kieran, which is, like, explained by the armor descriptions that, like, there's electromagnetic currents that, and those electromagnetic currents, like, actually, like, block things. Like, it is, like, a level of actual protection. Is he almost dead? Like, this is getting frustrating. Is this fin down? Oh, it's down. Okay, he's almost dead. There we go. Wow. That took a long time. Normal human, hopefully I'm now gonna go to sleep. Good night. Have a great night. Well, so Monster World, the first skimpy set you get was Angela. Yeah, it's more about, no, what people don't like is the fact that female armor sets typically don't have a helmet. Like, they always have an open face helmet. They never have, like, it's like a hat. And then the other thing that people complain about is the, what is it? The thighs. How on the thighs you can constantly, there's no armor plating on the thighs. But again, it might just be like an in-universe culture thing. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that the solutions exist. You just have to make it so that some parts of armor work on both male and female. I think that, like, arms and legs and helmet should be able to work on both. I can understand, like, maybe some of, like, the chest and waist pieces not really working between male and female, but yeah, I got some Piscine fangs. Awesome. Well, that wasn't so bad. I did use up a lot of potions, but that wasn't so bad at all. So I think my next quest is the Urgent. Yeah, it's the Urgent. It's probably Nargacuga. She rang Nargacuga! Okay. We can do this. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm more annoyed that Blade Master and Gunner sets no longer exist. Yes, me too. I don't know why. They should just make Gunner sets. A lot of the beta sets in World were just, either they were just worse designs. Like, a lot of them felt like this could have just been the, you should have just made them the Gunner set. And Rise not having got, like, anything in terms of, like, alternatives also was just sad. Like, come on. The Kezu, like, Gunner set is a classic. It's one of my favorites. And not having it in the game is really disappointing. Let's check what Nargacuga's weak to. In this game, it should be thunder, right? It's weaker to fire in this game. Neat. Send you to the Great Forest. Okay. Then I will have to use my best fire weapon. Narga was weak to fire. He's more weak to thunder in the newer games, right? My sense is that I don't think fans can do a better job designing things than the experienced and talented devs. That's all. My entire opinion. That's something that also I heavily agree with. It's funny, we have yet to actually see fans make a only 4 Mega Potions? Holy... I'll be okay. I'll be okay. We have yet to see fans make their own ROM hack. Like, we haven't seen a Monster Hunter ROM hack yet. I think that we're getting closer and closer to that point. Because we will have technically a ROM hack of... I mean, like, Ice was more of a community... It was more of a mod than a ROM hack. But, Team Resurgence, when they eventually finish, they're going to be adding a lot of new monsters to World. Yankutku, Ludroth, Velocidrome is adding to World, like, alongside Lagiacrus and all that. Like, apparently they have a ton of monsters ready to go. Yankutku being one of them. That they're just not releasing as a mod for whatever reason. I think the big reason is, in order for it to work, you have to have your own... Basically, like, it has to be a full-on ROM hack. Like, it has to be its own version of Monster Hunter World. It has to be have its own, like, client and everything. But when that releases, we'll see how people balance it, how they balance it, and we'll see if it feels right or not, because I could very easily see it kind of feeling like, yeah, a fan made this, and not that I don't have faith in them, I do have faith, but, yeah, I mean, we'll see. So I'm going to bring this weapon. I have 235 attack, blue sharpness, and I've got fire at 20. It's a good weapon. Kutku in World? Exactly. It's not done yet. It's not done. They haven't released it yet. They want to release Lagiacrus first. They just released Seregios like a couple months ago. I think it was like 6 months ago actually now. But, yeah, I think it was over 6 months ago. It's been a long time. I'm, like, misremembering. But once Lagiacrus is done, they said that they're going to focus on a full-blown, like, Monster Hunter World will... Like, a brand new version of Monster Hunter World that has a ton of new monsters and a bunch of, like, fixes for the game. Like, they're going to be borrowing a lot of what Ice did. They did say that because of the changes... you'll basically, like, again, it'll be its own version of Monster Hunter and World, and you'll need to, like, mods specific to Monster Hunter World may not be compatible anymore. But they're adding, like, several new weapons and armors and new quests. They're doing all their Fatalis. They got Abio Rogu. They're adding Boldrome. That was another one. Boldrome, Bullfango. They'll probably be adding things like Green Nargacuga and Red Lavasioth. I mean, I would hope. Steel Urigan. Like, those seem easy. Seregios is another one, of course. I already mentioned it. Seregios. Abio Rogu. Lagiacrus. Yankutku, Velocidrome. Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird. I have to use the bathroom. I'm going to be right back. Like, 1 minute. I'm so sorry. Talk amongst yourselves about Shadow of the Birch Tree. And I'm back. Should Gypceros return in Wilds? I think he could do a good job of returning in Wilds because of the fact that quest systems don't work the same as they used to. I think he'd be great for Wilds, in my humble opinion. Shramine? Shramine? I've not played Monster Hunter Online, so I don't know what those monsters are like at all. Woo! So I don't know how much damage this guy's gonna do to me, but it's probably gonna be a lot, so... Where's his weak spot? Let me just check. His weakest spot is the head. But I'm just not seeing lots of blood, so I got confused. No, it's definitely the head. Everything else is pretty much... yeah. His head, especially when he's enraged, he takes 55 damage. The hit zone is 55, I should say. Okay, he's not doing too bad damage. I pray will not die. Man, a modern Monster Hunter MMO would be neat. See, Monster Hunter kind of already is an MMO. It's an MMO light, and I think what they're trying to do with Monster Hunter is they're trying to basically make Frontier. This is what I was talking about in my ports video. Like, they have no plan to make another MMO. They want to just keep doing what they're doing because there's already MMO elements in it. Oh, I walked right into that. Okay. What's he gonna do? Jump up. I've fought Nargacuga so many times that he's really not that bad. Okay, now there's the blood. I think there's the blood when he's angry. And it's probably because the hit zone the hit zone does get crazier. I already looked it up, found that out. Glad they aren't making an MMO. It's more like, we'll get a new game, and it'll be an MMO for like 6 months, then the future stream stops. Then the future stream... Yeah, exactly. That's literally it. We get an MMO for 6 months, and then the next game comes out, and then that one's the new MMO for 6 months. I think because people are more likely to buy a new game than they are to keep spending the money on a subscription. And I think as long as they don't treat it like it's an MMO, people are more likely to pay for it. And also, I think Monster Hunter just does better when it only takes some elements of an MMO, but doesn't actually go full-blown MMO. It's a little bit easier for the individual to play the game when there's an aspect of it that's just single player. I really like Nargacuga. I think he's cute. I would not mind if he came back. I want him more than Zynoger in Wilds. He's a pretty big fan favorite. Zynoger obviously is more of a fan favorite, and he has a higher chance of returning, but... This isn't so bad. I'm doing pretty okay. How much health does he have? In this quest, he has 6,000... closer to 7,000 health. Okay. I think the Monster Hunter team is pretty content on sticking to mainline and portable and swapping between the two. I don't know. It'd be like if Call of Duty made like a weird third thing that wasn't their mainline or Black Ops series. It'd be kind of weird. Oh, I didn't know which way he was gonna aim, so I rolled towards the wall instead of towards away from it. I wanted to tweet this, but I feel like people would completely misinterpret me. But when it comes to like porting Monster Hunter, I wanted to tweet that porting an old Monster Hunter game would be like if Square ported Final Fantasy XI to like modern consoles. Like, it makes no sense. Like, why? Or like if they ported like FF14 but not Realm Reborn. Right? Like like, imagine if they ported Monster Hunter 1, but not Monster Hunter G. It'd be like, why? You might as well port, like, Portable 1, right? Or G. Like, you might as well... And that's what I was trying to say in, like, the video. It's like, well, okay, if you port Freedom Unite, well, why not just port Generations Ultimate? Because it has a lot of the same content. Like, what if they just did Generations Ultimate, but it had a little bit more content? So then it's like, well, why bother porting Freedom Unite? Like, these games have always just been built on top of each other. I don't know, it seems weird to me. If anything, we should be asking for them to port content from the older games. Like, that's what we should be asking for. It's like, hey, could you bring back this monster or this locale? And we'll probably end up being more thankful with that in the end. I'm very thankful that Spines was in Sunbreak. That was great. There's no way that they'll ever bring back Frontier. Like, that's done. The other thing, too, is, like, there's a lot of people who are already playing in fan servers. Like, what happens to those fan servers if they bring back, say, Monster Hunter 2? Which they won't do. They're never going to do that. It's funny, I remember someone saying, like, you know, if Capcom ever localizes it, and then Kogath replies just, no, they're not they're not gonna do that. Like, stop getting your hopes up. There's no plans. But, yeah, no, if they were to port, you know, Monster Hunter 2, like, would the people in the fan server just stop playing? In their fan server? I guess so. I guess that would just naturally happen. And imagine that gets shut down as well, and then we're back to the fan server again. That'd be so weird. It's just not part of their marketing strategy. It makes a lot more sense to port something like an Ace Attorney game for a series that is not really getting very many new games anyway than it is to port something like this. Even Marvel vs. Capcom, it just makes more sense to port an older Marvel vs. Capcom game if there's no plans to make a new one. And again, I'm not saying this as someone that doesn't want these things. Obviously, I want these things. I'm saying this from the perspective of, okay, well, why? Like, is there any rational reason as to why And the answer is very simple. They just don't want to. I want to cut that tail off. How did that hit me? Because if they wanted to, they would have already ported it. Like, it's that simple. That shrimple. Mostly think that probably not on second thoughts. I forgot Narkuga just jumps to change zones. Yeah. This fan service would get DMCA'd. Yeah, that too. They absolutely would. Classic style regular releases with continuous portable Frontier style MMO. This is what I'd like to see. If like a Monster Hunter Classic came out and it played like, and it had like a release system like Frontier, is that what you're saying? Monster Hunter Classic, and it has all the old systems. See, at that point though, that's not a port, that's like its own game, and that's again what I see them doing. They're more likely to do something like that than they are to port an old game. I'm gonna leave the area. I'm already out of Mega Potions. You need to make a new version of GU that has every old monster. Just keep that on the newest console forever. Yeah, like that too. That's all you need. Like, you just need... If they just released GU, they added all the extra monsters that were missing, and just made that forever... Like, even like Frontier stuff, and just called it Monster Hunter Classic, then people would never complain. Because they have the game that they've always wanted, isn't it? In truth, it won't be. Because what people want is they just want to play the old games again. I don't think people actually know what they want. I know what I want. I wanted something radical and different, and that's what Wilds is. In other words, I don't think I ever really wanted another, like, I never wanted a port of a Monster Hunter game. I wanted a Monster Hunter game that is Monster Hunter in essence, but it has very different gameplay loop, which is what I think Wilds is going to be. I shouldn't say different gameplay loop. Major changes to the game. Goes roar. It's so cool. Gen 4 monster with every monster village and every gathering hall and every map. Sign me up. Yeah, that would do way better than porting any of the games. Because, I don't know, like, if they did port, like, Monster 4, people would just be upset. Like, they would be like, well, what about Monster 3? Are you going to port Monster 3? And then they'll port Monster 3, and then the Tri fans will be like, you should have ported Tri. Tri's better. You should have ported Tri and then added all the monsters from 3 Ultimate. It's like... Can't please everyone. These games existed, they came and went. That's all we need. They were great when they came out. We can still play them. Like I am. How did that hit me? I'm not saying it would be a good game, but I would play the heck out of it. Yeah. Who knows, right? It would be funny if they just brought back Frontier, though. That'd be wacky. Hey, here's Frontier. It's back. Here you go. I don't know where Narkuga went. I'm going to assume he went all the way over to... for area. I first met him. Oh. Oh, he's here. It's one stagger on the wings. Is it 2 staggers on the wings to make them break? looks like. Can only cut off the tail when he's angry. I know that for sure. We can do whatever and we can do them whenever we want without getting punished for missing a day. OMG, gacha games suck. Yeah. Which I think partially is what Monster Now is doing, but that game will have only boss fights and nothing else. Well, isn't that what Monster Hunter is? Only just boss fights? I'm being annoying. That's to be annoying. I'm not I'm not serious when I say that. Isn't Monster Hunter just boss fights? Is it just a boss rush game? That's why, like, in the end, like, I don't really like GU, because it does feel like it's just a boss rush game. I also don't like the health pools, but it's a whole different thing. Isn't Monster just Dark Souls, but worse? Dark Souls is... Dark Souls is Monster Hunter's gameplay in like a... I wouldn't say it's Monster Hunter's gameplay, it's like a combination of like Monster Hunter and like classic... No. There's elements of Monster Hunter in it, but... Obviously, it's ultimately just a very different game, so it's not really fair to compare it like that. It's angry. Monster Hunter is a monster hunting game. Yeah, exactly. That tail off. Oh, wait a minute. He's angry, which means I can use pitfall traps, right? Nothing else at any of the for any of the trailers for any games I'm really interested in. There's like nothing that they announced I'm really interested in. The Sun Wukong game looks cool. I've been excited about that since it was announced, but otherwise, yeah, I'm not really excited for anything that they've announced. There's no indie games I'm particularly interested in. There's nothing. No! Why are you leaving? What is this bullshit? Also, there's a post-apocalyptic game set in the far future and all the monsters evolve from current animals and COVID. Yeah? He's not angry anymore. Cool. He's back with the Eye of Prey. Cool. Okay. I'm just gonna sharpen my sword. That'll be so beautiful. Such majestic creatures. When I first played Dark Souls, I was like, holy shit, this is like Monster Hunter. And then I proceeded to play through it without lock-on. See, when I first played it, I didn't recognize the Monster Hunter similarities. I recognized it more as, because the lock-on reminded me of Zelda, because I grew up on Zelda. Which, I'm so done with Zelda. Okay, I'm so done with Zelda. I'm not gonna get into it. Okay. Oh, I thought he was gonna go right for me, but no. There we go. Tails off, finally. Yeah, I'm really finished with Nintendo. Like, they didn't... There's nothing. Nothing interests me anymore. I just don't care. Leather Nargatail. That's probably the best... It's the second best possible carve to get. Obviously the best card would be the rare drop, but I'm not going to get picked. Will we get Kelby in Wilds? Will we get Aptonoff in Wilds? That's what I care about. They skipped the last game. What was that about? Or Aptonoff? They put in Gown Goats? You guys remember Gown Goats? How many times did you hunt a Gown Goat? I thought Nintendo had some of the most interesting games. Well, yeah, no, like, they had a good Direct. I just don't really care anymore. Like, Nintendo's magic is sort of, like, lost with me. And I don't think it's because I've aged. Because I still like a lot of... I like Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 was what I wanted, but... I think that me personally, I just don't have that same love for video games that I used to. I used to play everything. Any new game, I'd be playing it when I was a kid, but now it's... I just don't care. Zelda especially, the last time I bought a new Zelda game was when I bought the re-release of Skyward Sword. Which doesn't count, and I paid way too much for that because they charged way too much for that. I should probably head back to base camp. This is a great map. I really like the Great Forest. I like how green it is. I don't know, when I visioned the Ancient Forest, I visioned it more like this. Because it's the same concept, one giant tree. But, I don't know. It's not quite the same. There's little things that make it different. Flash Bomb. Definitely make use of that. Do I have anything? Really can't play the same game for several hours in one sitting anymore, unless it's a game with tons of exploration, kind of like Breath of the Wild. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, no games interest me. It's weird. The magic is gone. Maybe if they did a Zelda that was very story-based, it was more of a... in terms of the narrative and the progression, is more akin to Link to the Past, to Skyward Sword, like those games. Then maybe I would get back into Zelda. I'd give it a shot. Maybe flash bombs were a bad idea. He keeps jumping. Trap. Thank you, cat. Cat's getting more reliable with those traps, which is great. Yeah, truthfully, it's been a long time since I've played a new game that I've enjoyed, and I feel like I say this every stream, but I say it because I'm constantly being asked, like, hey, are you interested in that new such and such game? And I just almost every time I come to say I don't care. Like Helldivers don't care. I mean, Shadow of the Birch Tree releases today. Is that even what it's called? Like, I don't feel like it's actually called Birch Tree. It's called something else, right? I just don't care for the Souls games anymore. No interest. He's weak. Paintball. There we go. Tree. Okay, it's not Birch Tree. I kind of wish it was Birch Tree now, though. That would be funny. Yeah, I don't care. And it's not because I think it's bad, it's just like, I don't know, I'm just indifferent. If they had a trailer of Zelda, and they played the Conan the Barbarian music, like they did for Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and like they said, like, this is gonna be like a deep medieval fantasy. It's all gonna be about, like, fucking, like, cutting monsters and bleeding. I guess that's what Dark Souls is these days. Dark Souls has become what people want from Zelda, and that's like this dark fantasy, but Zelda isn't always dark fantasy. I just think it has a good chunk of dark fantasy in there, which is what makes it, like, I think, like, really entertaining. Like, dark fantasy meets like kid-friendly fairy tale, you know, and it ends up like it's got vibes of like the Never-Ending Story. You could have, like, it could be both for a kid and have good mythology for, like, a kid, like a good story that teaches a kid a lot, but then also it has like an extremely gripping thematic narrative that an adult can also appreciate. But Zelda these days seems to be more focused on an aesthetic that is very polished and clean. It's not very gritty. And they also would rather the player come up with and forge their own adventure rather than having, like, a pre-established, preset adventure for you to embark on. Which I believe in the end actually leads to a less satisfying narrative. But some people, they like their own adventure. They like when they see the big open map. Narga Brainstem? Two Narga Brainstems! What? Yes? 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 Yes, please? 2 Narga Brainstems? Let's go! Hunter rank up! Let's go! Streamer drop! I forget that sometimes, like, one, I'm actually good at this game. I'm better at this game than I realize. And that two, because I haven't filled a quest yet. And this is G rank, and I usually fill G rank quests. And my streamer luck is insane, you guys. Like, actually ridiculous. Yeah, Misukami! And Plasmioth? No, Levasioth. When I talk to this lady, what's she saying? You were great out there. Can't believe you defeated the Nargacuga, but they'll be even tougher. Copper Blangunga. Even better armor sphere, the Royal Armor Sphere. Okay, I don't need those, but thank you. Alright, Hermitar. I don't think I actually need, because I already have the Kieran equipment. So I don't think I need new armor. At least not yet. But weapons. Alright, what do we got? Shadow of the Moon. Heavenly Narga Scale. Oh, well. I don't need that because I can just upgrade. I only need 2 Narga Brain Stems. Look at that. Look at that. I just need heavy Narga Tail Spikes, straight Narga Cutting Wings, and black Narga Pelt Plus. And then I can get it to... This is a really powerful weapon. I also need Copper Blangunga stuff. And it's not even a lot of Copper Blangunga stuff, but this is a very good weapon. 290 attack, white sharpness. Really good raw. There should be... This! I should make this. This is a water weapon, and this is a good water weapon. This is a really good water weapon. What? All I need is money. Okay. Time to sell. Shadow of the Birch Tree, Shadow of the Moon. You know it. Sorry, so enjoying the chat. Named Red Bonnie Bloody. I love that name. Hello everyone, I'm Red Bonnie, and I am bloody. I had this at a friend. Online friend. His username was Golden Luigi Napier. Napier was the guy's last name. His first name was Tiernan, so it was Tiernan Napier. His username was Golden Luigi Napier, so Napier comes from his last name. Golden Luigi. Well, Luigi is Luigi, but he's golden. Why is he golden? Well, thankfully, if you went on his YouTube channel, he provided an explanation to his username. And he always said, this Luigi, one day, Luigi ate like a silver flower, and instead of turning silver, he turned gold. And now he's Golden Luigi forever. And, anytime I hear like a username like that, where it's like, I'm dark, or even like, yeah, like I'm Red Bonnie. Okay. Bonnie wasn't red. But they're just having fun. I find it fun. It's fun. That guy ended up doing Luigi's Mansion mods. He actually, if you, if any of you have ever gotten into Luigi's Mansion ROM hacking, that's all he does. And you've probably played his stuff, which is like weird. I didn't even really know about that until I was like talking to someone, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been playing this Luigi's Mansion hack by a guy named Golden Luigi," and I'm like, I used to be friends with that guy. Oh, I can point exchange for Royal Armor Spheres. That's cool. Take care, Jacob. I'm happy I got a chance to be here in the streams, but for a bit. Wish you luck with your Code Center project and future videos. Good night. Thank you, Samcho. I am, by the way, for like the one of you in the audience that even knows about Code of Cinder, I am still working on Code of Cinder, and Code of Cinder is going well, surprisingly. I just had to like reapproach a lot of stuff. I had to like, I have a very different idea for the first game I'll be releasing. Oh, what is this? Famitsu Invoice. Ice Attribute. 50. The attack is terrible on it, though. Jungle Maracas. Ebony Wings. Midnight Blades. Right. I need to fight Copper Blangunga, don't I? Or anything. I have to fight something. No, money! I needed money! That's what I was gonna do. Sell. I don't need all these nitro shrooms. Wow, that's a lot. I also probably don't need that many chaos mushrooms. I don't really know what they're used for otherwise. just Googled Code of Cinder game. Yeah, you should be able to find it. I think it pops up if you look it up. Although I've kind of kept it on the down low. Like, I haven't exactly been, like, publicly advertising it because I don't have a lot to show. I've got, like, nothing to show. I have, like, one tech demonstration. Yeah, it's nowhere near ready. Absolutely nowhere near ready. Even for a point where... Actually, I don't know how much union ore I need. I'm only gonna sell 24. Because I know it was an ore-based weapon. King Scarab? I do not need that many. Emperor Cricket. Beetle. Hopefully it'll release. Well, I'm going with a slightly easier sort of side project first. Before, because ideally what I'd like is I'd like to sort of assemble some kind of team that could help me. But I need to first prove my worth and actually make a game first. Because if I have a game that I've made, then people will actually take me seriously. Because that's a huge thing that anyone in game dev will teach you, that like the difficult part is to first get to a point where you understand how to make a game. And that getting to that part is difficult. It's not easy. But once you get there and you're at a point where you have made a game, it suddenly becomes way easier. So I have a simpler project that is Code of Cinder, but it's not like the main Code of Cinder. If you currently look it up, you'll see the main Code of Cinder. I'm doing the spin-off first, and the spin-off is a much simpler concept, much simpler, which is gonna work out in the end for me. Why do I have so many eye break scales? I think I have enough money now. I think. Yeah. Tigrex Tooth, Tigrex Katana. Tigrex Great Katana, I need Heavenly Tigrex Scale. Ooh. It's really good, though. Affinity is -25. That's atrocious. Imperial Sword, Aqua Guardian. Maybe we can equip that. That looks awesome. Ooh. Ooh! Look at this! What is this? Oh. Straight Bazario swing. Special Physia fin. What is... This is really good! Wow. This one's also good, but I think that there's might be a better ice longsword, right? I know that Blango Destructor becomes... It loses its ice element. But I think the Diora longsword is better. Darkness Darkblade. There's also this one. Yeah, the Ice Steel Blade. But I think I actually have an upgrade that'll get it to me sooner. Get me to it sooner. It was a... Ancient Blade. The Greatsword? Shiny Rathalos Sword? Maybe I'm crazy. I thought maybe it was something else and I upgraded it. Upgrade trees in this game are wild. This seems like a good weapon, though. 255 attack? Wow. 36 ice? I mean, water? Ice. This is my first G rank weapon. this might be worth investing in. Because I don't know how many monsters are weak. Actually, Ice Weapon would be really helpful against Diablos later on. This would be good against Levasioth, though. Kieran. I think I'll do something. I'll do another quest. Alright, what do we have? 2 Nargacugas. Okay, Levasioth. 2 Levasioth. Hermitar Shogun. Shogun. Terra Shogun Center. Yankutku? Why does it say Yankutku question mark? Hunt the Yankutku. Question mark. Rathalos. Oh, goodness. Rathian. Yangaruga. Blangunga. Copper Blangunga. Bazario Season. Oh, these suck. These are horrible. These are painful. What is Terra Shogun Centaur weak to? Thunder. I guess the only monster in that list that was weak to water would be Levasioth. So I think I'll do Levasioth. I remember Levasioth being horrible, so I'm in for real pain. Levasioth was mid indeed. I like Levasioth back in the earlier games. I didn't really like him in World. I like him in World at all. This might be my last quest for the day. I've been streaming for, what, 3 hours? Almost 3 hours. Yeah. I didn't want to be playing for too long today. Just wanted to get, you know, a stream out there. Just to say that, you know, I'm still making... I have to make sure I keep making content for the channel so I don't lose my monetization. But thankfully, yeah, still making content. I don't remember how to fight Levasioth in this game. He's like a worse version of, like the GU version, right? I fought him in Frontier, but he wasn't so bad in Frontier. But nothing was really that bad in Frontier in general. He has the Diablos tail swipe? Okay. This is going, like, really badly. Don't jump back in. Come on. Right, he swims under and then jumps up through the... I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to quickly check his weak point. It is water, and it is on his head and neck. So, how? His belly and tail has the highest physical damage, but it's pretty much the same as Physiog in terms of damage in general. But he doesn't really want to do the hip check, which is nice. That's I totally forgot to check like the audio levels at the beginning of the stream. It doesn't matter now because the stream is almost over, but I usually like to double check the audio levels, but no one said that there was an issue, so I have to assume that however I have it balanced right now is just fine, which is good. But I apologize. If it has been like weird this whole time, I'm so sorry. The best is like when you're 3 hours into a stream and then someone joins and they're like, like the game volume is super quiet. And you're like, oh, no one told me. But that doesn't seem to be the case this time. It was good today. Man, when I fought him, I built a guard plus lance set just for him. Oh, I don't blame you. That seems like a smart idea. Here I am using longsword because I just happen to have a lot of longswords. Okay, you're clear, which I think if I most part your words are why I'm here. Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, I don't think I'm exactly making spectacular gameplay, so not exactly blowing people's minds. It's excellent gameplay. Really me with every Monster Hunter. I just happen to have a lot of lawsuits. Wish they would release the 30-minute demo they showed journalists. Keeping secret is dumb, but it probably has stuff that they aren't finished. Yeah, that's precisely the reason. They're probably just embarrassed. They don't want to show it. They don't need to be embarrassed. We understand that games change, but they don't want people to see it yet. Like, it's not like Capcom has anything else that they're releasing or advertising right now in terms of, like, big releases. Even their 20th anniversary for Monster Hunter, they had, like, barely anything. Like, nothing. What did they reveal? What did they announce? Like, I was hoping for the anniversary, like, they would release more merch, but they're not. A lot of the merchandise that they're releasing is in Japan only. Like, they assume that there's no They have this assumption that no one would buy it out in the West. But in the end, we end up like pre-ordering it and importing it anyway. So clearly there is fans. How do I know where those are gonna hit? Let's like watch. Or do I have to get lucky? Probably working on Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC. Are they? Do you really think that they would do that? Like, is that part of their plan? I know that there was DLC for Dragon's Dogma 1, but... Or do you think that like... I guess I should ask, like, is if anyone's played it, does that game feel like it needs DLC? And would you want DLC? Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate that. I hate how he does that. It needs a fix. Okay, so it definitely I know that it needs like an update. That's a big issue. Having trouble running. Main complaint is lack of monster variety. Isn't that the issue of Dragon's Dogma 1 as well? I guess complaint. They had all these years to make more enemies, and there just isn't very many. Worried about Monster Hunter Wilds having a small monster roster. I'm really scared. I'm scared it'll be mostly new monsters. We have such a good variety of monsters. Like, don't make them all in the expansion when they have inflated health pools. This is a weird fight. I'm not used to this at all. I have to agree with Miss there. I don't really want Apex hyper afflicted, like frenzied monsters. Like I want the monsters themselves to speak for themselves, and I definitely don't want them to have like weird prefixes to their name that like represent something. It's also really annoying when I am building them out of Lego, and then people are like, "Hey, are you gonna do Risen Crimson Glow Valstrax?" It's like, no. You get Valstrax. It's like, are you gonna do Risen Teostra? It's like, I don't want to do Risen Teostra. Are you gonna do Apex Rathalos? No. Just take Rathalos and Silver and Azure, and I'll even do Dread King. I'll do Dread King, but don't make me do Apex Rathalos. Ugh! Holy moly. It just seems, to me, it seems like a waste that if they were to have all of these new systems only to not make use of it for any of their classic monsters that have always needed it. Nargacuga, even though he's a portable monster, Nargacuga has needed an ecological upgrade for like the longest time. He doesn't have anything. Like, he literally just exists to be attacked and to be a monster. Like, I want to see him behaving in the wild, you know, and World, I guess, tried, but he still kind of feels like he was just tacked on. Like, I want an environment where Nargacuga is the apex predator. Like, what would that look like? Oh, right. Fine. It's so funny how you can have a monster like Cephadrome and Cephalos, which would be perfect, absolutely perfect for the herd system, only for them to just not be in the game. Like, that's where I'm like, come on. Like, you remember all the all the intro videos of Aptonoth herds, only for Aptonoth to not be in the game, would be like a massive like L. Like, that makes no sense. That'd be so disappointing. For the first time, we could see like a whole herd of Luderoth, like a real like harem of Luderoth all around the Royal Luderoth, and there's a chance that might not even be in the game. And that's what scares me. That's what scares me about Wilds. Like, that there's so much potential for a lot of people's favorite monsters to get this like massive upgrade and this ecological treatment that we've been not demanding, but we've been asking for, begging for years. It would be so sad if none of that happens. And it's a bunch of new monsters that might be cool, but I don't know. It's always hit or miss, right? To me, it's weird. If you have a monster that's already like a king of a niche, like, why would you want to make a new one that's like a replacement of it? Like, imagine if they added like a new lava fish monster that is basically Levasioth, but it's not Levasioth, and it has like the same moveset. Like, that would be weird, right? Why did that hit? His body touched me. I've lost it here. I'm not doing well at all. I'm out of potions. I used up all the potions I just made. Just from bad play. He's probably enraged. Cool. Yeah, leave me alone. Heading back to base camp. The reason, again, the reason why I'm saying this is literally because it doesn't even matter about like whether or not it makes sense from an ecological point of view. It's the fact that, like, for years we were always told Aptonoths are in herds. wouldn't it be great if we could actually see Aptonoffs in herds? And then if they just don't give us that, that would be a shame. It'd be sad shame. I'm glad that they'll do herds with the new monsters. That's cool. But it's, I don't know, it like, you know, dream of my childhood, you know? Like, wouldn't you want that? A lot of people want that. Like, I just want to be able to play, like, the opening of Monster Hunter 1. That's it. So it would be sad. It would be really, really a shame if they didn't give us that. And it would, like, for me, it's unfortunate, but this is the truth. If they give us a new monster that could have been an older monster that I'm more familiar with in that same position, just on principle of it not being that monster, my subjective view on the monster is going to be lower. It's going to be harder to convince me that it's a better monster. And I understand that some monsters are just not catered for the kind of gameplay that they're doing. Like, I don't expect them to add everything back in. Nor do I expect them to give me, you know, exactly what I want. And I understand that, like, some monsters, again, just don't fit the new style gameplay. I always say, like, Duramboros would not work in modern Monster Hunter anymore. Even, like, Plesioth I don't think works in modern Monster Hunter. I don't think Lagiacrus works in modern Monster Hunter. So those are ones I can understand. It's just, if they don't give us Jaggy or Velociprey behaving in herds like they do in the openings, and they just make some new Dromasaur, I'll be like, okay, it's a cool new Dromasaur, but ultimately, if it was Jaggy or Velociprey, I would have been happier. And it's, again, yeah, it's nostalgia and bias, but it will have an effect on my opinion on that monster, and nothing can change that. It's not going to magically just go away. I can't magically turn off my brain and say, like, oh, but you know, I should appreciate it because it's a new monster. That's never gonna go away. At the back of my mind, it'll always be, oh, man, but wouldn't it be great if it was this other one? Why are you in the way, Apsaros? So yeah, like something like Cephalos and Cephadrome. I would have loved to see them in with the windswept plains or whatever it's called. Yeah, like that would have been awesome. But I know that they're not going to do that. They're going to make us fight the Balahara. And it doesn't matter how cool the Balahara are, at the back of my mind I'm always going to say, well, these could have been Cephadrome and Cephalos. To be fair, though, I don't think this is the best example, because I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Cephadrome and Cephalos. Like, I'm not. To be completely frank, I'm okay with the Balahar. In this case, it didn't take much convincing, but I know that in some cases it will take some convincing for me to be like, yeah, no, it'll take some convincing for me to say I prefer the new monster. Like, another huge example is Barioth. I don't really like Barioth because I feel like Tigrex fills the same niche and he does it better. And every time I have to fight Barioth, I'm like, I prefer if this was just Tigrex. Because I have more personal stake in Tigrex. And the funny thing too is I played Tri first, so I met Barioth first. But ultimately, after facing both, I come to the conclusion I prefer Tigrex. Again, these are just like my own subjective thoughts, and for those that want a brand new ecosystem and brand new monsters, you'll be very content with this game, most likely, because there's no way that they're not going to mostly do new monsters. I'm coping when I say that they're going to add back in Velociprey. They're not going to add back in Velociprey. I don't think they care. The monsters that they care about are new ones. Sorry, people are saying a lot. I just haven't been reading it. Quite bored from monster games repeating the same monsters all the time. I'm happy that I'm exploring new designs, but I get that the monsters give identity to the game that's monster. Yeah. I mean, you have people like Gaijin Hunter who, like, when they see the new monsters, they're like, they feel weird. Like, they feel alien. Another example, like, I guess, like, here's a positive example of a monster that I actually prefer over the original. Not the original, like, an older monster. I will gladly take Puke Puke over Gypceros every day. Like, Puke Puke is a great poison monster. I love Puke Puke. That's a good example. That's a great monster. It fills the niche of a poison. Puke Puke isn't a bird wyvern, right? Or he is a bird wyvern? Yeah, he is a bird wyvern. He fills the niche of a poison bird wyvern in a way that I think Gypceros. It's okay. We don't need to bring Gypceros back. I think Puke Puke in general is a more beloved monster, and he fits that niche better. I think. And yeah. So again, it's monster to monster basis, you know, like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Thanks for the heal, cat. I don't think I need it, because I was planning on going to the base camp anyway. It's a classic case of old man yells at cloud. Complaining about things that really ultimately don't matter in the end. They have very little effect on my enjoyment, probably. Oh, they do. They do have an effect on my enjoyment. I mean strictly from the idea of a poison bird wyvern. They are both poison bird wyverns. They also both have weird tails. Gypceros and Puke Puke. And I don't see both Gypceros and Yankaku are equally weird and goofy. They're equally silly. Same with Puke Puke. Most bird wyverns are kind of silly. So I do agree. Like, you know, there's some cases where it's like, yeah, I would prefer having Kirapeko over Yankaku, but I would not want them to add like a new fire bird wyvern, like Acnosom. No, I don't want Acnosom. Kirapeko and Yankaku are fine. Kirapeko I'd probably prefer because I think that he works a bit better for... What is happening with this Slavasiov? Hey, buddy, you see me? There we go. Unfortunately, I know you're like, don't be reductive, but unfortunately, the way that Monster Hunter works on like a game system perspective, they have to have different monsters that fit different, like, it's like, okay, I think I tried to talk about this in one of my videos. This might kill me, and I'm okay. Where, when it comes down to it, your monsters are used for different methods of the game. Like, what am I trying to say? Monsters are constantly training the player for the next monster, and they're providing both a learning curve, but also materials like equipment to prepare you for the next fight. So, in the case of Gypceros, they provide the player they're a bird wyvern, so they're an early level monster, and because they don't throw a poison wyvern right at you. They usually will do a poison bird wyvern first, because again, it's part of the progression. You always fight bird wyverns before you fight flying wyverns. They'll give you a poison bird wyvern to teach you, oh, this is how you deal with, like, this is an introduction to a flying monster. This is a monster that can fly to the to the wyvern build, but also it's an introduction to poison. And so when you face it, you gain access to poison equipment, but you also have to deal with and learn about how to navigate poison. And it makes sense, like, this is like, I don't really know how to word this right, but it's like a game design thing. It's not like, I'm not talking about ecology here, I think, when it comes to, like, if I'm gonna compare them. Again, it's not about, I don't think it has been about ecology here. Conversation. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm even talking about, whatever. What I do know is that what Gypceros teaches you about poison and about how to navigate a bird wyvern, which will translate to a wyvern monster, and what Gypceros provides you, which is poison weapons, some of that is translated to Puke Puke. Not all of it. Zuzu Yaku teaches you about being flashed, but unfortunately, monsters that stun you like that is rare. There isn't a lot of monsters that do that. Like, I guess Somnicanth does that in Rise, but... What hit me? Huh? So when they choose to add monster, and you can get this if you read the books. Like, if you read the Monster Hunter World book, they explain their design philosophy for adding certain monsters. Like, Levasioth and Urigan were added later to the game. Like, they were not part of the original design. Like, they were not part... They had no intention of adding Levasioth or Urigan. They did add Radoban and Gyrototus, and because they already had the skeleton, they're like, okay, well, we need another Brute Wyvern that's like the end game Brute Wyvern. That's before Deviljho. So what do we add? And they decided on Urigan because they already had the skeleton. Which, because it already fits that. I mean, they could have added a new Fire Brute Wyvern if they wanted to, but they settled on a returning one. And in that case, I feel like their use of Urigan was smart. That was a smart use of Urigan. Same with the use of Levasioth. In the end, it was a smart choice. Were they the most fun monsters? Probably not. But in terms of, like, development... Oh, he's almost dead. Yes! Every monster is set specifically to teach you something about for the next monster. I love Bear Offs to teach you both charge attacks as well as the importance of elemental. It also teaches you about Brute Wyverns in general. That's why Baroth is always the first Brute Wyvern. They teach you all about Brute Wyverns and how to deal with them. Actually, it's funny, Great Jaggy does teach you some of the mechanics, some of the moveset of Baroth. Some of the moveset of Baroth originates, but you see it first in Great Jaggy, so it kind of teaches you. Perfect timing, midnight here. Yeah, I think I'm understanding what you mean. I guess I just don't like thinking about them in such a video gamey way as if we're thinking about them as animals. And me too, like, I understand that point of view as well. So that's why this conversation, especially for me, is complicated, because in some ways, I take both aspects. Where it's like, yeah, I do view them ecologically, but more so, I've noticed that I view them more mythologically than ecologically. Like, because in the end, a lot of these monsters, they aren't, like, I get it, they're not ecologically possible, especially ice monsters. It just doesn't make any sense. It's impossible for this animal to exist on our planet, and that's okay. The mythical aspect of the hunter slowly facing harder and harder challenges and slowly facing animals that are more and more monstrous to the point where eventually they face an animal that is considered... New movie has been added, The Swimming Wyvern. Huh? I didn't get like an opening video. What? That's weird. Maybe if you fight it, maybe it was intended to have like a video, but it just didn't in the end. Anyway, yeah, I've come to a point where I've kind of like fused the gameplay aspect of it and the game design aspect of it with the concept of like the hero's journey, like this sort of like the narrative aspect, because the ecology stuff is nice and it is a massive part of the development of the monsters, but ultimately, unfortunately, they will, at the end of the day, come second place to a lot of the design choices in this game. There's certain monsters that technically should be considered weaker ecologically. And there's certain monsters that should be considered stronger. Like, I do think it's kind of weird that Rajang is able to, like, wrestle a Deviljho. That seems kind of silly. Like, I don't know if I really buy that. I think that one of them is much heavier than the other, and I think that they artificially inflate Rajang. And that's because if you view it too much from an ecological angle, it starts to fall apart. But if you view it from more of a mythological angle, that it's all thematic sort of representation of nature and how terrifying nature can be, then a lot of this, I think, flows a lot better. Yes, you can have Rajang be stronger than Deviljho. You can have him body slam him. And that's because this creature is no longer an ecological creature, first and foremost, if he's rather a creature of myth, and it's part of this narrative journey this character is on. Then I think that it makes more sense. Like, you could like almost hand wave it like the player is not actually facing the Rajang if it was a real ecological animal. He's the player, he or she is sort of experiencing the fear or like the myth of the animal, that there's this heightened sense of like a supernatural aspect of the experience that only like it existed way back in history when we first experienced things like tigers, and we first writing about them and how we didn't really know how to deal with them. Now we know how to deal with tigers. We know scientifically how to protect yourself against a tiger, but there was this real dread and fear that they're a lot stronger than they were. They're still very powerful animals, so you should definitely take them seriously, but now we're at a point where we can, I mean, if you look up tiger on Google Images, you'll get a bunch of cute photos of a tiger being cute, but in the past, it's something really to be feared. So it makes sense why, like, Rajang would be placed higher than Deviljho. You fight him after Deviljho, but, yeah. That makes sense. I'm just yapping. I think I'm gonna end it here. I would like to keep playing. I like how you guys are here, but I'm going to end it here, I think, because I got stuff I got to do. I got to make myself some food, and then I got to work on Gravios. I'm building a Lego Gravios right now. It's still a work in progress, but I'm very pleased with how it's going. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. I really appreciate it. Exit game. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming out. It means a lot to me, and even the donations mean a lot to me, because this I'd like this for this to be my job. I always say this every time, but I'd like this for me to be my job, and so far it kind of is. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna stream again. My schedule is kind of up in the air. As soon as there's more video presentation of Monster Wilds news, I'll talk about it. But we'll see. Have a nice evening. See ya. Good stream. Thank you. I always try to catch your streams. I fail often at that, though. But I appreciate you all being here. I really, really appreciate your the conversations too, because it's nice to have these conversations. All right, I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna find a song to play you guys out on. Let's just do Ancient Rhythm. Why not? Yeah, here we go. All right, bye everybody.